Welcome to week 3 of #KindnessCrew CRSS Read Aloud. This week's book is read by the students of 4B and 4P from Coomera Rivers State School. Let's start by introducing your class. Where are you from? What grade are you in? Where is the strangest place you have made a friend?
Wilfrid, Gordon, McDonald, Partridge. Written by Mem Fox. Illustrated by Julie Vivas. There once was a small boy called Wilfrid, Gordon, McDonald, Partridge, and what's more, he wasn't very old either. His house was next door to an old people's home, and he knew all the people who lived there. He liked Miss Jordan, who played the organ. He listened to Mr. Hoskin, who told him scary stories. He played with Mr. Tippett, who was crazy about cricket. He ran errands for Mrs. Mitchell, who walked with a wooden stick. He admired Mr. Drydale, who had a voice like a giant. But his favourite person of all was Miss Nancy Allison Delacour Cooper, because he had 4 names just as he did. He called her Miss Nancy and told her all his secrets.
Question 1. Wilfrid and Miss Nancy both have 4 names. What are some things you have in common with your friends?
One day, Wilfrid Gordon heard his mother and father talking about Miss Nancy. "Poor old thing," said his mother. "Why is she a poor old thing?" asked Wilfrid Gordon. "Because she's lost her memory," said his father. "It isn't surprising," said his mother. "After all, she is 96. What's a memory?" asked Wilfrid Gordon. He was always asking questions. "It's something you remember," said his father.
But Wilfrid Gordon wanted to know more, so he called on Miss Gordon, who played with the organ. "What's a memory?" he asked. "Something warm, my child, something warm." He called on Miss Husking, who told him scary stories. "What's a memory?" he asked. "Something from long ago, me lad, something from long ago." He called on Mr. Tippett, who was crazy about cricket. "What's a memory?" he asked. "Something that makes you cry, my boy, something that makes you cry." He called on Miss Mitchell, who walked with a wooden stick. "What's a memory?" he asked. "Something that makes you laugh, my darling, something that makes you laugh." He called on Mr. Drysdale, who had a voice like a giant. "What's a memory?" he asked. "Something as precious as gold, young man, something as precious as gold."
Question 2. What do you think a memory is? Why are people's answers different?
So Wilfrid Gordon went home again to look for memories for Miss Nancy, because she had lost her own. He looked for the shoebox of shells that he had found last summer. He put them gently into the basket. He found the puppet on strings, which always made everyone laugh, and he put that into the basket too. He remembered with sadness the medal which his grandfather had given him, and that he placed that gently into the basket next to the shells. He next found his football, which was precious as gold. And last of all, on his way to Miss Nancy's, he went to the hen house and took a fresh warm egg from under the hen. Then Wilfrid Gordon called on Miss Nancy and gave her each thing one by one.
"What a dear strange child to bring me all these wonderful things," thought Miss Nancy. Then she started to remember.
Question 3. Wilfrid found a way to help his friend Miss Nancy. Can you think of a time that you helped a friend or they helped you?
She held the warm egg and told Wilfrid Gordon about the tiny speckled blue eggs she had once found in a bird's nest in her aunt's garden. She put a shell to her ear and remembered going to the beach by tram long ago and how hot she had felt in her button-up boots.
She touched the medal and talked sadly of the big brother she had loved, who had gone to the war and never returned.
She touched and she smiled at the puppet on the strings and remembered the one she had shown her sister and how she had laughed with a mouthful of porridge.
Question 4. The medal and the puppet reminded Miss Nancy about her brother and sister. What objects remind you of your family or friends?
She bounced the football to Wilfrid Gordon and remembered the day she had met him and all the secrets they had told. And the two of them smiled and smiled because Miss Nancy's memory had been found again by a small boy who wasn't very old either.
Question 5. Wilfrid was able to help Miss Nancy even though he was a small boy who wasn't very old either. Finish this sentence. I can help people even though I am... Call to action. What happy memory do you want to make with a loved one this week?